Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome. How is everybody doing today? I cannot believe that it is already October 15th. Uh, this is Thursday. So, first off, if you're joining me on Facebook, um, please, there should be a way that we can connect and you can actually click on let your remarks be shared with StreamYard. StreamYard is an excellent way to doubly go ahead and post. And the message of today is a message of hope. So, first off, it is Thursday, as I said. My name is Kimberly Tremmel, and it is my privilege to spend the next couple of minutes with you all. I just had the best experience. So I'll give you all a few minutes to get on. Hi, everybody. So glad you're joining me. Sometimes I can see when you're on. Sometimes I can see when you've looked at this later and or when you have shared it. So thank you so much, whatever the instance is. I am honored to have this opportunity to speak with you. My name is Kimberly Tremmel. I am a licensed and certified speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team. I also teach real estate, and I've been in the teaching capacity probably for the last 15 years, roughly, teaching and speaking. And then, of course, I help people with compliance. You know, that came from my professional standards days. So I help people with brokerage questions, business questions. However, what I'm excited about and at this moment sharing with you is a message of hope. So thank you so much for those of you who've been following me. Thank you so much for taking time out of your life, whether you watch this live or whether you watch this recorded or whether you share this with anybody. If this resonates with you, please feel free to share it. So what I want to talk about, and I just started to say, I just had one of the best experiences, at least of this week. I was invited to speak at a local chamber. And boy, did I have an amazing time. And I think everyone walked away with something that they could use that day. So the time that I spent with them will be longer than what I'm spending with you because we're on Facebook, and we're also on YouTube. But I did want to share a piece of this because I think at this time, this is an appropriate message. So this is a message of hope, from hopeless to hopeful. From hopeless to hopeful. So, as I said, well, I didn't say, but I'm saying now, you'll be able to walk away with one or two things that you can implement today, just from our 7, 12, 15 minutes together, more like 15 probably. And not only that, but I'm going to give you the opportunity, as I always do, that if you find that this information resonates with you and you'd like to dig deeper, take a deeper dive, all you got to do is contact me. I will give you the opportunity to continue on further. In these few short minutes, we're only going to have an opportunity to scratch the surface. However, at least we'll have an opportunity to uncover it a little bit. So today we're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about leadership and hope. And what I'd like to propose to y'all, everybody who's listening, is that you are a leader. Now, I know some of you are parents. I know some of you own companies. I know some of you are on teams. But at the end of the day, you're a leader. John Maxwell says leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. So because of that, you're a leader. So today we're going to talk about putting hope or modeling hope in your life for your people. I am going to set my timer so that I'm mindful of what time it is. Whether you're watching this live or not, I want to make sure that I kind of keep it in bite-sized pieces. Okay, so today we're going to talk about you being a leader. As I said, John Maxwell says leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Now, contrary to what traditional definition is, leadership If you were to look it up, it actually says it's your title. It says it's your position. It says that it is a place or an office. But think about this a minute. Influence is part of being a leader. John Maxwell's been teaching for the past, he's been writing for years. I want to say he's got over 80 books. And so today we're going to talk about leadership and shifting from hopeless to hopeful. Part of influence, part of leading is connecting with your people. During these times, more than ever before, is an important time to connect with your folks. Think about it for a minute. We've been living in a siloed world. Most of us have been working remote. In many instances, what happens is that we're not coming in the office the way we used to. Many people are doing that now with the protocols that are in place. But what happens is that we have the potential and we run the risk of not connecting in our new re-engaging lives. So one of the things I always ask any of my coaching clients is, if you got promoted, or if anybody on your team got promoted, who would follow you? Who wouldn't follow you? And reflect on that. What does that mean? Why might that follow you? Why might they not follow you? So every single day you need to ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, how can I begin to influence and connect and develop my relationship with my peers, my teammates, my company, and I'd even go so far as to say as your family? How can I communicate at a deeper level? Howard Thurman says, don't ask the world what it needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Why? Because that is what the world needs. The world needs you to come alive. The world needs people to come alive. So why is this relevant today? Well, today we find ourselves in a series of morphine crises. At the beginning, March 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, global world came to a hard stop. For a while, again, we've talked about this, I'm not going to spend much time here, but it came to a hard stop. Well, now more than ever, leaders need to give their people the space and give themselves the space to reframe, pivot, and shift, and make whatever necessary adjustments that maybe they wouldn't have thought about pre-COVID. The question may be, where is any positive in this situation, Kim? And I think that's a valid question. But I have talked to company owner over company owner, leader over leader, and most every conversation says, you know what? We weren't doing this before, but now we're doing this. And the only reason we came to do this is because of COVID. So my mom used to say, look for the silver lining, Kim. Look for the silver lining. What is challenging today may actually be an opportunity disguised. So what is a good leader to do? A good leader is in the business of creating a hope-modeled existence. A hope-modeled existence. Leaders give hope. Leaders give hope. The message of leadership is hope. The leader who gives the most hope has the greatest influence. You as a leader do something called hope work. You are carrying the banner of hope, so to speak. And hope begets hope. If you have hope, what ends up happening is that creates more hope. It's almost like a seed. So what does Webster's dictionary say hope is? Hope is a feeling of expectation, of a desire for certain things to happen. So it is an expectation paired with a desire for certain things to happen. So what are you hoping for today? You might remember, you ever remember Rocky? Do you remember the movie Rudy, where it was like the underdog? They, didn't seem they were going to make it, but they made it. So hope is not a strategy. Hope actually has fluidity. So what does that mean? It starts carrying you. It starts carrying you. Once you decide to have hope, it is tuning into the gratefulness channel of the universe, turning into positivity. Jonathan Sachs says that optimism is the belief that things will get better. Optimism is the belief that things will get better. The alternate or the alternative is expecting things to stay bleak. So the greatest leader is one that holds out hope, not only for himself or herself, but for their team. Can you see the possibilities of hope? Can you see the benefit of tuning in to the positivity wave that's there? Yes, you have to look for it. Remember, I said my mom used to tell me, look for the silver lining, Kim. And sometimes it is hard to find the opportunity in the obstacle. Something for yourself to consider. Number one, you must hold out hope for yourself. Once you do that, hold out hope for others. And if you are at a place right now that you just can't seem to hold out hope for yourself, I'll hold out hope for you. Why? Because sometimes we have to borrow somebody else's hope. So what do you hope for yourself? What are you believing for yourself? How can you make a difference in your current situation in the midst of sadness? How can you make a difference? So what are some things you can do? I'll give you a couple key points. One, manage your perspective. Manage your perspective. Choose to see the opportunity, not the obstacle. Number two, make it personal and bring others in this modeling of hope. Remember, when you're bringing others in, you grow. John Maxwell says that growth is the beginning and the certainty of knowing that things will get better. Growth is how you get to better. The leader that is pessimistic says, oh no, this isn't going to happen. We can't do this. They look for every single reason as to why something won't work. However, the optimistic leader, they're looking for the reason something will work. Not only that, they're putting the systems in place and the people in place to make it happen. Remember, yours is the ability to make it so. I remember I used to love to watch, I think it was Star Trek. Make it so, Ensign. Make it so. You have a possibility. Let small people live small lives, not you. Let others argue, protest each other, cause static with each other, not you. Let others cry over small hurts, not you. Let others leave their future in somebody else's hands, not you. I can't take credit for that. That's what Jim Rohn says. I made a couple things, adjustments on that. But believe that the future can be better than the present. Remember and believe that the only thing stopping you between where you are right now versus where you want to be is growth and hope. So when we think about this, we have the ability to find our resilience. We have our ability to find our resistance to negativity. Find your resilience, find your resistance to negativity. We have the ability to dare to believe for a brighter future, regardless of what circumstance we find ourselves in. Regardless of what circumstance we find ourselves in. Remember who we are. Remember who you are. Remember that you can aspire to be wherever you want to be. in the future. The only thing that's standing between you and where you want to be is a pathway. Now, does that mean maybe a growth plan? For me, I know when someone said, hey, Kim, do you have a growth plan? This was 20 years ago. I'm like, what's that? And so I had to find out what's a growth plan. It's not just picking up a positive book every now and again. I actually had to full on engage with mentors and coaches and other people that were part of my tribe where we could work together and actually become more by being together. Believe that 2021 is going to be the best year yet. Believe the possibilities of brilliance. Be brilliant. Sparkle. Be brilliant. Sparkle. The future is more brilliant than ever. Be hopeful, not hopeless. Be excited. That's brilliance. Remember, change is intentional. Growth is intentional. Our attitudes are intentional. Just like every day when we get up and we decide what we're going to wear, we have to put on our attitude. We have to put on our hope. Growth is the only thing that guarantees tomorrow will be better. I find that's super fabulous. Thank you. To remember that we have a choice. We can't control what's going on around us, but we can control what's going on in us. Model hope. Model hope. I used to have, and I'll close with this. I used to have this favorite poem, and I still do. Not sure if I can remember it all, but it was saying that when things get hard, as they sometimes will, when the road that you're traveling seems all uphill, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but do not quit. It's called Do Not Quit. Actually, I think I just remembered it. That's pretty cool. So I'm glad thank you. I'm just really glad that came to my remembrance. So why is this important? Because yes, modeling hope can be difficult. Yes, being a leader can be tiring, but just like we charge our telephones at night, just like we charge our computers, charge yourself, recharge, eat right, get sleep, drink your water, watch. Well, I said eat right already, but remember, you have the ability to chart the course for your future. And I know many times I'm speaking to the choir, which means people who are already on a growth plan, but even sometimes people who are on a growth plan, they get tired, and it's okay. It's okay. If any of these things resonate with you and you'd like to talk more, message me, call me, text me, but anything, all the above, send smoke signals, whatever works, just reach out. Now more than ever, we need to stay connected. We might be socially distanced, but we don't, or physically distanced, but we don't have to be socially apart. We may be physically distanced, but we don't have to be socially apart. So thank you all for listening. Kimberly Trimmel here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for sharing this. If this resonates with you and you know of someone who could use a message of hope, from hopeless to hopeful, please feel free to share this. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me at Kimberly Trimmel on YouTube. And if you want, and just reach out. Just stay in touch is all I say. I really have intended ever since March that I'm going to stay in contact with people at a higher level, because life just switched around just like that during the spring. So because of that, now more than ever, it's my desire to intentionally stay in touch with everybody. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day, and bye-bye for now.